Yeah, that Ethernet is loose.
Yeah, and we are live.
Oh,
Yo, your timing is fucking impeccable. I love it. Oh, what's going on?
Yeah, my internet, man. Shit just popped out.
Yo, pay your bill, bro. Stop lying.
The hamster fell off the wheel.
Oh, man. So, I didn't get enough sleep like last week, but I'm here. Got up at 2:30. Man, it's just a mess, but
those overnight shifts, bro. You never get enough sleep in those overnight shifts.
Yo, you know what's crazy though?
Night is terrible.
I feel like people purposely, because it's only 2 days. It's only 2 days. And I feel like it's almost like people are like, you know what, we're gonna call him now. You know what I mean? And I'm like,
you gotta shut your phone off, bro. Mute it, something.
Yeah, but then if something happens, you understand?
What's gonna happen? You got a house line?
Yo, dude. That's a whole other story. We have a line. We have the same number since we've been together. Same number.
Right. So,
dude, it's
if that line rings, then it's something.
But who calls house phones anymore?
And somebody that's gonna get through an emergency.
And honestly, I don't want motherfuckers having my house number because then you don't. You know what I mean? But in any event, we here and we live. As you're coming into the room, let us know you're here. So this is I don't know how to even put the words together for it, but I'm just gonna say this. As always, we have a very special guest joining us tonight. He's from where we are, from our hometown. He's a Brooklyn cat too, right?
Yes, sir.
Brooklyn.
Bensonhurst, I'm sure.
Salute to Bensonhurst. I know it was tough in the 80s, but you know what? Friends become friends through sports and other avenues of life. And this gentleman definitely is connected through that vehicle. But most importantly, we want to give him not only a salute, but his flowers, because this gentleman is a great human being overall, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So we definitely want to welcome him onto the show tonight. The set welcomes Mr. Michael Morabito, again, from Brooklyn, our hometown. So we're going to have Michael come in. We're going to have a conversation. I hope everybody enjoys the exchange. And people are showing up in the room. Oh, my God, Miss Beverly Baskus. I hope you're well. The regular schmegular. Miss Angelica.
Beverly, they getting that hurricane, I believe, down in Texas. Y'all be safe out there.
Really?
Yeah, it's like Louisiana, Texas, down that whole south. So.
Oh, right. The whole panhandle. My brother's down there. My brother's down there, yeah. Mm-hmm. And my titi Nancy's down there. I hope everybody, everybody's safe. Yeah. Salute to Tasty Dom 66, Morabito's salute.
Big Dom OG, triple OG.
Salute to Miss Beverly Baskus. We hope you and the family are well and safe. Keep each other safe down there during this time. I'm glad everybody could join us. Salute to Miss Lauren B. Good evening. Oh, that's Laura B. Oh, salute to Miss Laura B. Good evening. Bay Ridge, Brooklyn in the building. Wonderful. Oh, she says we're okay. Thank you. Awesome. I have a new profile, Miss Beverly, so I'm glad you came. I'm going to send you a friend request. It's a long story. Don't ask.
This guy's hot mouth.
Hey.
Fresh mouth.
It was a meme, bro. It wasn't even anything that I said, So Tasty Dom?
Yes, sir.
Is that
that's Dom. He used to play with Homestretch back in the day.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. Dude. My boy right there.
Salute, Dom. I don't know about calling another dude Tasty, but salute to Dom.
Well, he did Tasty Chicken back in the day on 86th Street.
Oh, shit.
Chicken. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, salute to Mrs. A in the building.
Don't start assuming things. All right?
Nah, listen. You ain't gonna hear me yell across the Tasty. Nah, dog. It's not happening. Oh man. But yeah, man. Ms. Zenobia Mercado's in the building. And my two son fools. Oh, Josiah, Asa, and Mommy are here. Sending y'all love. Man, it's happening. Salute to my nephew up in Albany, New York. Damn, everybody's coming in.
Let's go. Mikey brought him out. Brought him out.
Listen,
we with it.
When somebody from the home team comes on and is gonna share, I think that really gets everybody going. You know what I mean? Look at Chef J Martinez.
Did you watch the verses last night?
Dude, I was gonna talk to you about that. So I caught a bit of it. I wasn't happy about it. Yeah. I didn't like Joe's vibe, and I think you stated it. How they gonna put an R&B singer against a rapper? You know, Ja Rule ushered in the whole. He really took R&B and hip hop to the forefront because it was always happening, right? But he and Irv really turned that. I don't even know how to put it, but it just became too much. I mean, for me, he had great songs,
right? And the best part of it was 50 Cent went at him for doing it, and then he did the same thing.
Really? Yeah. He took his whole swag.
A lot of R&B stuff too.
Yeah, he was doing a lot of singing, little something. Yeah. Salute to our brother all the way up in Seattle, Washington, the corner of the world, the corner of the country, actually, Mr. Reggie Smith. But, we see you.
Yeah, Joe was on some braggadocious stuff, and you know, I mean, Ja Rule, the man's in great shape, man. I was like, for real, like this guy still got it, working out. It looks all right, you know, he's doing his thing. I was waiting for Joe to take his shirt off, but you know,
that definitely wasn't happening. He was having his moment, you know. He has joints too, but I just, you know, I didn't like it. I don't think it was a good look. I think they should have went.
It was a tough mix of who was going versus who. I think, you know, I mean, but Ja Rule got hits. He got hits.
Oh, for sure, he got crazy hits. He got joints.
Joe should have brought out 50, and Josh should have brought out Cuban Link.
Oh my God, that would have been a brawl. Salute to Aiden. Salute to Aiden. I see you, brother. Yeah. Also, there was some. Now that we're talking about New York music, I feel like now that the Locks had their verses, and you know, there's a whole resurgence. I feel like of New York music, and Minnesota dropped the album. He's going to be dropping some new shit. He dropped the full video, you know. So I feel like New York is probably going to make a comeback. I really do. Hopefully.
It's just no. Huh? It's just the way hip hop is and all that. It's you know, it's a certain way people move, and even the way the young cats move. It's not like New York. The young cats move. It's not New York moves. It's, you know, it's a different type of movement. So
a different vibe. All right.
Yeah.
So let me say this before we run this track. Let me play this little clip for y'all. A New York artist out of the BX, and so let me know your thoughts. Let's see.
When style and hustle meets genius, this in my genes. I thread through life like a seamstress. Cream, get the money. I work from dirty to clean flips. Smiling on the coast in the yacht, burning the mean split. You gotta master collegiate for the league shit. And you can't reach kingship till you deem fit. Flavorful.
Now, a lot of people may or may not like that because we're in a different place in hip hop.
Right.
I'm feeling that.
That's cool.
That's me.
That's cool.
You know? So, ready to run this track, brother?
Let's do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's go. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Mr. A.
Shelly Sasson in the building.
And this is the set 6145. Tonight, we welcome a hometown hero. And I know he probably doesn't like that moniker or to be given that label, but it is what it is. Mr. Michael Morabito from Brooklyn. And I hope everybody can enjoy this conversation. Mr. Morabito, you know, is a giving individual, somebody who went into a field of work and gave of himself selflessly. And we definitely want to give him his flowers and just have a conversation and catch up and see what's going on with him. So I hope everybody enjoys this conversation. We're about real people telling real stories, and this is a major one. So I hope everybody enjoys it. We got everybody ramped up with music now. Everybody's asking if we like the Drake album.
Yeah, Drake, the other AZ, a lot of albums dropped.
I'd be remiss if I didn't mention AZ Do or Die 2.
Yeah.
It's what I've heard so far.
Yeah.
Fire. So
R.I.P. Norm Macdonald too, man. I don't know.
Yeah, man.
Crazy.
Big loss. Big comedy loss. Norm Macdonald was a monster. My favorite character was there was two characters. He played Pigeon on Mike Tyson's Mystery Machine. It's a cartoon, hilarious. And then he played Burt Reynolds on SNL for
the Jeopardy skit. Yeah, that was funny.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that was good. And he was good on the weekly like the news thing.
The news segment they had.
Yeah.
So, man. Yeah, so RIP Norm Macdonald, man.
Yeah.
And we got some big things coming up, but tonight it's all about Mr. Morabito. So without further ado, man, let's bring him on here. The set welcomes from Brooklyn, Mr. Michael Morabito.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Yo.
What's going on? Michael. I can't call you Whip.
No, you call me whatever you want.
Yeah, you got it, brother.
Hey, what's up, Dom? I just want to say hello to Dom. I haven't seen him in a long time.
Yeah, just don't call him Tasty. We don't do that. Mike, how did you get the nickname Whip? Where did that come from?
That was a nickname I had ever since a little kid. Rumors, I got into a fight with two brothers. Someone said Mikey Whipster whips their ass. It was always Whipster, and then got shortened to Whip. So it's a name that I've had since I'm 5 years old.
Jesus. So you've been bowling since 5, huh?
Pretty much. I live in Brooklyn. That's all we did.
There you go. There you go.
I saw a meme today where they were like, I asked the landlord if the neighborhood tough, and he said, "Can your kids fight?"
Yeah.
That's Brooklyn.
Yep.
For sure. So, Mike, I was saying that you're from Bensonhurst, no?
That's correct.
Okay. So, what was life like for you early on? I mean, you're already putting it out there that you're about to dance. You'll dance, right? If you have to, right? So what was growing up in Bensonhurst like for you?
It was a tough neighborhood. I mean, no one was maliciously trying to hurt anybody, but we all got into fights. I mean, I fought my best friends every other day. We grew up and we fought. I mean, and then the next day you shook hands and you were best friends again. Some of my closest friends were guys that I've gotten into fights with.
Really?
Yes.
You gotta love that reconciliation.
That's
people, some people hold grudges, i.e., this guy.
That guy. You earn a mutual respect when two guys fight each other, and whoever comes out on top, it's a mutual.
When you're able to put your hands up and like, all right, and then walk away, you shake hands, or you be like, tomorrow we're going round 2.
Right.
So what are we gonna do? And you're like, I ain't doing this shit again.
Right.
We're friends.
Yeah. We'll make it friends.
That's it.
For sure. I think the area in New York that we grew up in just builds a different kind of character, right? Yeah. And the friendships even more so through sports or just living around each other just breeds a certain camaraderie that other boroughs just have a different swing on, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Benson,
I grew up, we had 20 kids on my block. We were out all day. We played every sport you could think of. And if we didn't have any, we made up a sport. That's all we did is play all day.
Did you play sports in high school?
No, I barely went to high school.
What? Sound like this guy.
I hated school. Barely.
You heard this story before.
Yeah.
This is
I knew we were friends, Sal.
Yeah, that's it.
Did you go to like Grady, Lincoln, or
I went to New Utrecht.
Oh, you went to Utrecht.
Yeah,
okay.
I went to a Catholic elementary
anyway,
school, and then I went to New Utrecht.
Yeah, I don't think.
I said they sucked in sports anyway. Don't worry about
it. Right. Why would I? I was better than every one of them on every team. Why would I go play with them?
It's funny you say that because nobody ever bragged about going to Utrecht, like being in a sport. Like, I play for Utrecht.
Yeah. A little bit later, they did get good. They did earn some chips later.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, so, Eli. I know Eli, Jimmy Milo. They all played.
Yeah, they got.
Yeah, they had a good team.
Elliot Best, I think his last name is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes.
So. I don't think everybody will understand that growing up, there were a lot of outside football leagues that we got into. And one major one was playing on concrete. So you would play in leagues that were basically schoolyards on concrete. And people would just literally smashing each other. And this happened every Sunday, like religiously. It became, our thing to do. And how did you sort of get in? Like, was it you and your boys from the neighborhood that started running into these leagues?
Not in the beginning. In the beginning, I just used to go to Dyker Park where they played the Expo League on the blacktop and just watch them play. And the first time I ever played was with Anthony and Scott Giraffa with the Buckeyes. And I was about 15 years old, and they were in a playoff game.
Mr. Bean.
Yeah. And they needed an extra guy, and I played, and I had a great game. And then they're like, "Oh, you got to come back next season." And that's how I started playing. And then I brought my friend Vinny. And then sooner or later, we joined up with Jimmy Milo, and then the rest is history. We were the Misfits. Yeah. And that was it.
Milo was the quarterback?
Milo was the quarterback.
Yeah, I remember that guy. Yeah. Misfits.
Guys broke our hearts. These guys broke our hearts. Let's change the subject.
There's a lot of broken hearts out there, so it's not just yours.
You're right.
No, but salute to the Misfits, because I remember the one thing I remember the most about them, aside from their jerseys, was the unity you guys had. Because I could remember seeing a game or two where you guys would get in the business. Somebody would start talking and it would just turn the whole fucking game. Like it was just like a switch.
Right.
So, I think a lot of people, and so even more so you, because you stayed longer, respected that about your team.
Yeah. At the time, you're like, fuck these guys. You want to beat them.
You want to beat them. Yeah.
But then after, when you step back, if you, if you grow as a person, you'll be like, you know what? You got to tip your hat to these guys and show that they did their thing, and then you said they always had their unity. They would add a piece here and there, but they had their nucleus of guys, which was their core, and you got to respect it. They were of my era. I know Homestretch, Don mentioned Homestretch, those guys. They were a little older than us, but coming into my era was the Misfits, the Muggers, certainly, but the Misfits were the Patriots or whatever of our time. So.
Thank you, so.
No doubt.
Sure. And another thing was too, you would be like, you know what, we're gonna fucking bully these guys and we're gonna do this, and it didn't work that way.
No,
and you was one of the like, oh, don't get it twisted because of his size.
Right.
He's one tough son of a bitch.
Thank you. Thank you. Hey, listen, I play my heart out. I play hard nose. I mean, like Absolutely. You said, I'm not a big guy. I'm not a tough guy, but if you're gonna give it to me, I'm gonna give it right back.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yep.
His disposition of being humble, right? It speaks more about who he is. Because, we all know those people that bark, right? Nah, no. It's the guys that don't talk. It really is, because I've seen it happen so many times. Like, oh, you better leave that guy alone because he's ready to go off. It's ready to happen.
I wouldn't say I didn't talk. I talk sometimes.
No, I know. I remember.
Yeah, but you know who you can get into it with and who you can't get into it with. Sometimes it's friendly banter, and sometimes it's going to get personal.
Yeah, I think we went home more than many times talking about like, yo, we gotta fucking beat these fucking guys. Like these bunch of little 5'3" motherfuckers are beating us. How is it happening? But you guys had a great fucking squad for real. Great competition.
That's all our friends that we grew up with. We, like Sully said, we would add a piece here and there, but the main core was guys, and that's why we were so tight. It wasn't like we took 10 strangers off the street. You don't have that tightness. We grew up with each other.
Yeah.
So
Keith Bruno was
why we were tight with each other.
That's my guy, Keith Bruno.
Bruno was awesome. One of the most underrated football players out there. Keith was awesome. Yeah, Vinny Samperi, great.
No, for sure, definitely. And like again, you see, you're like, this guy's thick. But together as a unit, you guys do your thing. And I had Whit play with me also with Primetime. And then when he played with me, kind of like I was like, oh, I get it now. I kind of like he would be like that common voice for me, like because they would be, I was B quarterback, yeah, right. I was BC, whatever.
Surprise,
but I won chips and did things because of guys like him that were in my end. I was like, oh, I'm gonna learn from this guy. So
yeah,
shouts to Whip and them. But enough of that.
You don't want to go down back.
Yeah, enough of that, man. I lost more than I won over there.
I'm opening up bad wounds right now.
Yeah, but you know what? You guys used to play us the hardest, I have to say. It was always a war playing versus you guys. There were some teams we walked through, and we always had a tough time playing you guys.
Fun time. We were like that close or something.
Always.
But so now as you get older, I understand you're still playing, right? And you're like my guy here. He can't let it go either. And I get it. It's a good feeling to be out there and playing and, the camaraderie, having a few beers, you're with the guys. It's a beautiful thing. But at some point, you have to say to yourself, all right, I'm having fun, but I got to work now. I got to do something. I'm going to have a family, blah, 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 blah. Like, so at what point do you start to, jump into the workforce and say, hey, I got to make a living. I got to make something happen here.
You're breaking up a little bit, but I got the gist of what you're saying. That hasn't happened yet. I have 4 kids. One's married already. It hasn't happened yet. I'm still playing every day.
Wow. Okay.
How does your body take it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel good. So yeah, I feel good.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I'm just lucky. I feel good.
Yeah.
I just had knee surgery, but I'm hoping to come back from that, no problem, and start playing again. Yeah, I hold up.
Yeah, and you've been the same like weight and everything like all these years. I don't think you've really changed at all.
No,
right?
I haven't changed.
Yeah.
In high school, I'm the same size.
Right.
Fucking
Yeah.
guy.
And I don't eat good. I don't exercise. I don't go to a gym. I work hard and I play hard. That's
Does
it.
Jennifer cook? What's going on over there?
Every night she cooks.
Coming over for
Every
Sunday
night she
dinner.
cooks. That might be the only night we go out to eat.
Okay. So at what point, how do you find the fire department? Like, is that like, I want to be a firefighter, or is it like the usual, as we said, we take all the city tests and whatever comes first, that's what we jump at?
Well, my father was a police officer, and he always said growing up, get a city job, get a city job. I'm a carpenter by trade. I've always been a carpenter. My brother's always worked with his hands. So we took all city jobs. We had no careers. I took the fire department test when I was 19 years old. I was still a kid. I wasn't even thinking about it. It took 7 years before I got called. When I got called at 26, I'm like, I'm ready to be a fireman. I did my partying. I did all this stuff.
Yeah.
And then, it definitely was a great point in my life to have that career.
Did you thrive in the training?
I did well. Yeah, I think the fire department is catered for guys like my size who are athletic and could do stuff. Going to a fire, I say to everybody, is the biggest ass kicking you're ever going to get in your life. It's the hardest 10, 20 minutes that you'll ever have to work in your life, and then you get it easy sometimes.
Mike, sorry. We were doing we were playing football in the 60th Street and 4th Avenue one day. There was a football league there. We might have been hanging out, but there was a team. There's 3 Jolly Pigeons. They were
I know.
And they had a bunch of firemen on the team. And there was a fire on 4th Avenue on 60th and 59th and 4th. And I remember they ran from the game. They just playing football. They ran and they just ran into that building. I'm like, wow. That was the day I was like, wow, that job is incredible, because I'm not going near that.
Yeah, we're not too normal, most of us. Fine. Oh yeah. But listen, I think that goes along with my personality, from my upbringing and stuff. Whether it's a fire, if you were in a fight in the street, I'm running to help you. If your car broke down, I'm running. That's just the way I was brought up. My parents are like that. I was brought up that way. Whether I was a fireman or not, things I do in life would always be the same. I'm the same guy, regardless.
Sally, you heard what he just said, and I find it I'm fascinated that he articulated that, because nowadays I really don't think people feel like that. You understand? I think people see shit going on and they're like, yeah, none of my business. Let me keep it moving.
Let me videotape it on my phone and not get involved.
Correct.
Yeah. And I think that, let me tell you something. Our neighborhoods were definitely different, right? In makeup. And through the 80s, there was a lot of shit that went on, right? But I think in our generation, sports sort of like melted that away a little bit, and we started to understand that there's not enough differences to keep us apart. We have more similarities that bring us together, and sports was that thing, right? Mm-hmm. Normally, back in the 80s, we weren't going into that neighborhood unless we had to go to school. Shit was different. And now as men, to look back and see, the life that we lived, to hear you say that, it's kind of sad in a way, because again, seeing the shit that we grew up around and experiencing the things that we did, how can we not be at this point where everybody feels that sense of kinship almost? If I see you in a bad spot, I'm going to help you.
Regardless of helping you.
Right. People have this they forget too easy, right? I feel like that. I think that people forget shit too easy and don't remember. New York City in the 80s was a fucking like one big Bellevue hospital. We had drugs, we had poverty, we had racism, we had all these fucking problems that were like on a hot plate.
Right.
Here we are in 2021. You have kids, Sel has kids, I have kids. We've made it past all that shit. Here we are as men. And these people have not learned the lessons to put them in a place in the way that you're speaking, being a human or being human to each other, right?
Yep.
Now, the reason why I'm saying that is because I really want to know, Mike, was it a combination of your upbringing and your work background that sort of melded your personality? Is it your family? Like, what are the things that made you who you are with that
Without
mind?
that, yeah, definitely my upbringing from my parents, my background, the neighborhood I came from, my friends' parents. When we lived on the block, if I did something wrong, my friend's parents would give me a beating for doing it wrong. Like didn't have to be she wouldn't even tell my parents, but I got a smack from their mother. Don't do that. Right, don't do that. Right. And I think that's a big difference with time today. You go outside, no one's sitting out on their stoop. No one's doing that. A kid's acting like an idiot, no one says anything to him. And then if they do, the kid's mouthing off back. And then the mother's saying, why are you saying something to my kid?
Yeah.
Back then, you got smacked from somebody, he deserved it. You should have smacked him.
What did he do?
What did he do?
Your parents would be like, what did he do?
What did he do? They're not smacking you for no reason. Not psychopaths. You did something wrong. Yeah. So I think it's a combination of everything. And the time we grew up in, I mean, it was a different time than it is now. We didn't have the computers and stuff. We were out and about with the people. You made friends with everybody. And that's just the way it was.
How many siblings do you have? Is just your older brother or you have other?
I have an older brother and an older sister.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm the baby.
All right.
Oh, okay.
And how far apart is John and you? The age difference.
John's 6 years. My sister is 4 years. Today's her birthday.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
happy birthday!
Happy birthday, big sis. Yeah, man. So now you get into this career, Mike.
Yes.
What is it like for you? Like, is it a shock to your system, or
No,
you're fully vested? You loved it.
I loved it right from the get-go. I said, this is what I was meant to be, without a doubt. Loved it from the get-go. It was like, this is what I was bred to be, a fireman.
What was your first, your engine? Like, where were you first at?
Sunset Park. That was so I got assigned to Sunset Park, 39th Street, 4th and 5th Avenue, engine 228. I was assigned there. I did a year there, and then I had to go to Washington Heights on 181st in Amsterdam. I did a year there. Then I went to Kings Highway. I did a year there, and then I came back to Sunset Park. And then the rest of my career at Sunset Park.
Is that seniority they move you around, or they just do that to like break you in kind of?
So when I got on, they were doing that to break you in. It was called the rotation, which was great because if you work only in Sunset Park, you know what the firemen do around you, and that's it. I went up to Uptown. They do it completely different. We're all firemen, but their operation is different. Kings Highway is different. So not only do you get to learn different ways and pick which way you think works the best for you, you get to meet that many more guys. Right. So you get to know so many more people. Some guys got a crappy firehouse. They're all crappy firehouses, and now they went to somewhere else. They're like, oh my God, this is great, and then transferred, and vice versa. Some guys got great firehouses and then went to a crappy firehouse. Said, I can't wait to get back to my firehouse.
They screwed me over.
Yeah, but you know what? To me, I had a great experience the whole time. All the guys were good. I loved it.
Well, what was your first big moment? Like outside of what we know, but I'm just saying, like that first, oh shit, this is real.
Right. Well, the very first fire I ever went to was in Sunset Park, and there was an old man who was right behind the door that we pulled out and rescued him. And I remember carrying him by his arms, and when I grabbed him, all his skin peeled off his hands like rubber gloves. And I was like, holy shit, this is real.
Right.
He ended up not surviving, the guy, but we pulled him out. We did the best we could. He just made it all the way to the door, and that was it. And then again, as a fireman, you see dead people, you see horrible things. So there's a little bit of a switch in your head that kind of shuts off and makes you immune to that.
Right.
At night, you lay in bed or you think about it, and then it hits you hard. But at the time, it's just a switch that you just have to shut off to do your job. Otherwise, you'd break down every time you saw something. We don't go to good stuff as a fireman.
No.
Right.
We usually go to bad things, you know, fires, car crashes. We don't go to, you know, once in a while we'll go to a block party or something, but for the most part, we go to bad stuff.
Right. And is there like guys like PTSD, like, you know, a lot of police officers, we got to figure they go through that, right? So
yes, yeah, 100%, right. I mean, like I said, there are times at night you lay in bed and you think about things. That could I did something different? Could I have done more? And yeah, of course, it bothers you. You get PTSD for sure.
How is that? Because I always like to look at the other side of work and the regular, you know, rat race shit that we go through, you know, outside of our home. How has that shaped your relationship, you know, with your wife, with your kids, with the people that you love and your friends? Like, do you value even more so and respect, you know, life is
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think as an adult, maybe as a kid, I didn't value life as much because you're like, who cares? I'm going to live for the time. As you get a little bit older, I think you value life a lot more and you don't realize it till you're older. And then especially once you have kids and stuff. So probably the first half of my career, I didn't think of it that way. And then on the second end of my career, it definitely was more like every day's a gift.
Mm.
And as firemen, right? You know, it's a team, right? So if somebody's a mess up, you know, you're a F up.
Right.
Oh man, my life's on the line here. Like, you better straighten your shit out. Right? I mean, is there conversations like that? Is it like
100%? Yeah. That's what I think makes it different between us and the police officers. The police officers don't have that camaraderie. So if a guy messes up, he gets in trouble, he gets suspended. A guy messes up with us, we could lose our life. So you know what you do? You take the guy in the basement, you get into a little fist fight or something. You have words with him like, don't do that shit because I'm going to be the one that gets hurt. Like, don't put my life on the line. We work as a team, exactly like
fucking Rambo on us. We roll with you.
Don't do that shit. And you know what? Most guys aren't like that. Most guys respect it. And they're like, all right, I fucked up, and you know, it won't happen again. You know, we're all capable of fucking up. I mean, you know, no one's besides doing that.
It's crazy the way you know. I never thought of it like this because you know we always say you know you got to put yourself in somebody's shoes. You really don't know what they go through or whatever.
Right.
You know, it's real. You really don't know. But when you spoke about it comparatively, you guys are running to danger. Like when this going off, you know there's a fucking problem. There's no it's not that. No, you going to danger.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So you definitely can. Your ass is on the line. It's like a linchpin.
I know, but I love it. The adrenaline is great. I love it. Most firemen love going to fires. I mean, we don't get on the job to not go to fires. We actually do really love going there. I mean, yes, there's a part of it. We do it to help people and stuff, but there is an adrenaline rush to go and do it, and you get excited to do it. When we're at work, we want to go to work.
Yeah.
Right.
We got a question from the audience. A young man. He's about, I believe he's like 8 or 9 years old. His name is Eden from Brooklyn. And he wants to know if you're retired.
I am retired. 3 years now.
Oh,
nice.
So,
I did my 20 years.
Is
take the city test, Aiden. When you get
smart kid. Aiden is a smart kid, a great student, straight A student. I wouldn't be surprised.
And you know what's funny? I tell people all the time when the young boys like, take it regardless. Because like you said, 7 years later, you got called. Me, when I took the bus test, 4 years later, I was like, what? I took a test? Oh, okay. You know, like, give me the job. Let's go. You know, like you forget, but you never know what situation you're going to be in 3 or 4 years later.
You may have to.
You don't know where your life's going to bring you. Mm-hmm. Right. And to Aiden, stay in school because my brother has 6 years of college. He scored 3 points higher than me and got on the fire department 3 years earlier than me. So
there you go.
3 points cost me 3 years of So stay in school.
Right. You would have been retired 6 years now.
Yeah, right. Don't do what I did.
How's retirement treating you, though? Are you in a good place? Are you bored?
It doesn't suck.
No, of course not. Of course.
No. Well, I'm still a carpenter, so I pretty much work every day. I just finished redoing my whole house, so I probably work harder now than I did as a firefighter.
Honey-do list.
Yeah.
Jennifer's like this. Jennifer's like oh shit.
Yeah. No, it's legit. Like I gutted my whole house and I'm really just about 90. Where he had 9 years, and I'm just about done. I have tiniest little bit left, but I work every day.
Wow, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining the show, I'm your host, Mr. A.
Sally Sassong in the building.
and this is the set 6145. Tonight we're speaking to the hometown hero himself, Mr. Michael Morabito. And I know he doesn't like that connotation or that label, but this is what he is.
I don't consider myself a hero. I consider myself a regular guy like everyone else.
I trust me, I get it. I get what you're saying.
Superheroes wear capes, brother.
Yeah, exactly.
Hero for sure.
But listening to Mr. Morabito talk about his retirement, and he gutted his house. Like I know he has the Jesus hands, Mr. Carpenter over here. It brings me to another point. Don't you feel like children don't get we don't get shop, wood, all that mechanic? Why do you think all that is gone? Like,
I don't know. I wish they had trade schools. I would have went from trade school my entire high school. I don't care about math, science, nothing. I'm dyslexic. So it was very hard for me to learn. That's why I hated school. But put a tool in my hand. I was working with tools since I'm 10. I was always good at working with tools. And there were a lot of kids. My son's dyslexic. He hates school. So I'm like, don't worry, you got to get out of high school, but you come work with me. Right. He wants to be a fireman. There are things you could do, but you have to at least get through high school.
Right.
But if there was a trade school, he would excel. He would be great at it.
At what age did they pick it up that you have dyslexia?
They never picked it up. No. I know it from me and then from learning about it. But my son has the same things I do. I still don't know my right from left hand. I have to look at my hands right and left. It's just it's not like people think you see words backwards. It doesn't work that way. It's just your brain. It's harder for your brain to comprehend reading stuff. Like when you look at something, you automatically read it. When I look at something, my brain has to work to read it. So it's hard work. Like your brain gets exhausted. So they say if you're dyslexic, you're good at sports, you're very hands-on and stuff. And I do attribute that to my life. For me, it was a good thing. I was never good in school, but outside of that, it was a very good thing for me.
Man,
that's an example of, no excuses.
Yeah,
right. Get over it. Get over it and make it better. You could do it.
Yeah. Aiden happens to be 12. I
am 12.
He's like, I'm 12, buddy. I'm not 10, I'm 12. But good kid. So Aiden, you heard his advice. Stay in school, stay sharp, and stick to it. And it almost sounds like I want dyslexia shit. I wish I would have learned better skills. You know what I mean? Because we all I'm sure you picked these things up from your dad. Pardon me.
No, my dad's not that handy.
So where did this come from? Your own frustration?
No, it's just me. I don't know. I could look at something and know how it's built. It's like an idiot savant, whatever that's called.
Oh shit! Okay,
you was nice with the Legos.
Yeah, I wasn't doing it. My son's great with Legos. You have to see his room. I got every Lego. No, back I didn't really have Legos. We didn't have a lot of money back then.
We had a Slinky.
Right. Yeah. I took people's garbage, took it apart, and put it back together.
Wow.
That's what I did.
Wow. So as time goes forward, Mike, you're moving in Korea, you're getting comfortable. At what point do you move to making, like, do you get stationed in the city, or are you still like all in Brooklyn? You're like almost your whole career.
Just the 1 year I did in Manhattan. I did Washington Heights. So I did a year and 3 months there.
Wow. So then after that, you went back to Brooklyn?
And then I went back to Kings Highway, and then I went back to Sunset Park. And then that's my assigned house. So that's where I finished out my career. It was in Sunset Park.
The 39th Street station.
39th Street.
Wow. That station's been there forever.
Yeah. It's 1898, I think it opened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit. And your brother is probably somewhere else?
My brother was in 10 House, which is right under the World Trade Center. That's where his firehouse was. So he did his career there.
Wow. So, people, I want everybody to understand, we wanted to bring Michael on to speak about his career, his life. We all understand the moment that he had during the event. But we also wanted to share with everybody, where he's at and the things that he's done. Speaking about this subject is very touchy. It's, and I can imagine that if I'm in his shoes, I don't want to beat a dead horse or even just drag it through the mud because it's, again, a very sensitive subject. I think Michael shared a bit of himself on the clip that we were discussing, the portion that you did with Australian TV. But what I would like to ask is, after everything is said and done from that day for you, what do you do for yourself to put you back in peace, I guess, is the best way I can frame it. How do you find your peace in life and your place in life after that day?
Well, initially, what really brought me back was football. I have to say, yeah, playing football. And because even through the whole time after 9/11, whatever happened in the fire department, every Sunday I went down there and I didn't think about anything but playing football. And I really contributed a big part of that to playing ball. I also contribute my health to that, because in the beginning, I was right after 9/11, I was on an inhaler. My lungs were filled with fiberglass from the collapse and everything. And by playing football, I was always coughing and hacking out stuff. And then 3 years later, I went for a test and they said all of that's gone in my lungs. So I think that helped get it out. And then obviously, running, yeah, without a doubt. Or the running, you know how we play. You run till you throw up sometimes. Yeah. You know, you play all out. And I do think that was a big help in me getting mentally better and physically better for a big part of it. My wife obviously was a big help to me to get my shit together, I guess. Because we don't all have it together. And then obviously a little bit later, my family. Once that comes along, then everything goes out the window. Your family comes first. Wow.
It's crazy. Yo, so did you hear what he said? He's running around hacking up the shit outside of his lungs. Yeah. Like that I don't know about you, but that sounds a little how should I say, like a miracle? Like you get fiberglass in your lungs.
They say it's there forever. That's what they said. Once it gets in your lungs, it doesn't come out. Yeah, and I had tons of it in my lungs. And then when I went back for a CAT scan years later, they said it's all gone. It's resolved. It's like a miracle. But I was on a steroid inhaler, and like I said, I played football. I didn't miss a game, I don't think, through the whole thing.
I was living in Bensonhurst at the time. I'm sorry, Midwood, like Avenue M.
Right.
And when I had to go to work about 12 in the afternoon or around 3 o'clock, and I remember walking out in Midwood, and papers and debris, kind of like dust. Right. And I started like just tearing as I was walking, because I'm like, how could this be here?
Right.
Yeah. I'm in Midwood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine downtown.
Right.
Over there. So yeah, that's a miracle, man. And good for you that that you got you out. You kind of worked through that.
Right. Well, I'm not going to pull it right out of it that the other shoe doesn't drop. I'll tell you, because they keep saying it's going to come, but you know what? I don't live my life thinking things are going to come. I live my life for today and how it is.
That's it.
No, but I like Sel. I don't. You listening to him, and to me again, it sounds like a fucking miracle. When you get fiberglass in your lungs, it's a wrap. It may take a little while, but to hear that, man, it's almost like you got somebody on your side there. You should send me their email address, because I need some help. So now, Mike, man, I can't imagine how has this whole time span, we're 20 years later, but how did it change your relationship? Specifically, I want to know actually with your brother. Him being your older brother, that's probably one of your heroes, somebody you looked up to. But how is it? Has it changed you in any way with him?
I don't know if it changed us. I mean, me and my brother have been through a lot of shit together. We've always done crazy stuff and always ended up on our feet, which sometimes it's insane. Like, how the hell did we just get away with doing what we did? So when 9/11 happened, I mean, I thought my brother was dead, because like I said, he was right under there. And when he was alive, it just was like another thing. Like, how the hell did you get out of this? I knew you would, but how did you do it? And he was the same way with me. As far as changing our relationship, we've always had a good relationship. I mean, you're brothers, you fight, you love each other. And so I don't know if it actually changed us, but it definitely put a different bond that we have, what we went through, than maybe some brothers have, because it's something that we both came close to death, faced it, looked it in the eyes, and then came out on top. So,
and you saw a lot of it too. Like you said, you see stuff as a fireman that you're like,
Well, we don't really talk too much about that stuff.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yo,
You always say about firemen until you bottle it up, and that's why on that show they got me to cry. I never cry. I could talk about this all day with you. I'm like those sons of bitches.
Yeah, they got me.
Yeah,
They got me.
I was watching the clip and I was like, yeah, this guy, how are they getting him to talk? Oh man, he's telling a lot. Oh, this ain't gonna be good. I know he doesn't talk like this. You know,
I never cried
I don't
either.
know.
Now I watch commercials and I'm crying.
Yeah.
This adoption. The little girl got adopted, and I'm like, oh, that's so nice. You know, like,
oh man. I think that's really exactly what I meant. Like the bond, the connection between you and your brother had become something different. It evolved after that time, right? You guys got you're close, but you're even closer now due to what happened, what you experienced, I guess is what I was trying to say.
Right.
I also are your parents still with us?
Yeah, they're still with us, going strong.
Oh, God bless.
Fran's still on the sideline, baby.
My mother comes to every single football game.
No,
Even if I'm not there, she goes to the game. I've been on vacation and my mother's there. Every
Really?
single football.
That's a fact.
Yep.
Bro.
That's a fact.
Wow.
I'd be like, Fran, how much is on the clock? I don't even ask the refs.
He knows everything.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, God bless, man. That's a beautiful thing. Wow.
She's actually even been in a fist fight on the field one time.
What?
Yeah, that's right.
No.
When I was younger, my brother played on a team and he got into a fight with this kid, Rob Gordon, and it was an all-out brawl. And it was me, my brother, my mother, and my sister all in the middle of the fight.
That's the way it happens.
Yeah.
I love
And like, Mom, you can't get involved in the fight. Like, I can't stop it. That's it. My boys are fighting, I'm fighting.
That's it.
I love the fact that he actually remembers that guy's name, Rob Gordon.
I'm still friends with him. He's awesome. I have a lot of good friends.
I bet you they're fucking friends.
I told you, I have a lot of good friends.
Yo, Rob, you sucker punch my mom, bro.
Rob is awesome. Rob is on the bottom of the pile fighting my brother, looks up to him and goes, "Isn't this great?"
Oh,
In
man.
the middle of a fight.
Hey, listen, Mike, a dear friend of ours, a young man by the name Chef J. Martinez. If you read in the comment there, tell Mike to come see me. I got a free dinner and drinks for him.
Thank you, Chef.
He's a young chef. He's from our neck of the woods. He puts it down. My wife and I went out to one of his places. Sky is the truth. So,
Awesome.
Chef J. Martinez, salute, brother.
Yeah, I hope he's doing well through this coronavirus because this is tough.
Yeah, it is. He's been.
And they had a flooding, right? Didn't have a flooding recently. or
He
something?
got flooded.
Yeah, so recently we were gonna do an event at one of his places called Rooftop Reds. It's in the Brooklyn Navy Yard. It's
Awesome.
a winery on top of a roof. Literally, they have all the trellises with the grapes growing, and they make everything there. What was it? Ida came through, or whatever. Whatever that storm was. The
One of
other
the
day.
many.
Yeah, it destroyed everything. But luckily he has another spot in Brooklyn that he does his thing in. So he's all right. But young man, very motivated, does beautiful work, I have to say. So Mr. J. Martinez extending the love. That's what we do on the set.
Mike, I got a question. So after 9/11, everybody's going, it's tough. What was like, everyone was looking for a silver lining, right? So what would be like your silver lining? Like what kind of like turned the corner for you? Like besides the football, I know you said that, but like was there anything else that you could be like, all right, birth of a child, something, or was it?
Well, my kids came later, so it wasn't, I wouldn't say directly connected to 9/11. Right. I mean, on 9/11, me and one of my friends, Mike Lyons, made a rescue of one of the only two survivors that were actually in the building when it collapsed. And that was a silver lining because out of such a horrendous day that went through so many bad things, we did something good. So regardless of how bad that day was, something good came out of it. And the guy, Wall, is an unbelievable guy. He's, such a great family man, such a great guy. I'm still friends with him. He was at my block party 2 weeks ago. So yeah, that's my silver lining, that something good came out of all this horrendous disaster.
Man, yeah, the block party. I'm sorry to divert, but
Yeah, it's still strong in Brooklyn sometimes.
Wow. Man.
We played stickball, we played dodgeball, we played
The
slapball.
18th Avenue feast ain't what it was.
No,
right?
no. It's still there, but not what it was.
Yeah, it's not what it was.
Not what it was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But is there cooking going on? That's what I'm talking about.
The cooking's still good. That's for
really?
Sure. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, I was just telling my wife the other day. My wife makes sauces and peppers. She does everything, but she makes sauces and peppers. Jesus Christ. I can't find any sauces anywhere, none of these supermarkets. I don't know what's going on. There's like a shortage or something.
Baico's and B&A Pork Store in Brooklyn. That's where you gotta go.
Gotta cross the bridge.
Yeah, sorry, pal.
That's all right. Gotta make an
Told.
exception. For real. So now, that whole event and you know, that whole experience for you, you know, is miraculous in itself. And the people, if you haven't seen Mr. Morabito talk about his experience, you know, more in depth,
you don't have to watch it.
Yeah, no. If you want to see that, you know, I know a lot of people probably came on tonight thinking that we were gonna like drill down to that, but if you want to see that, you can go check it out on YouTube. Just pull his name up. We're more about wanting to know where he's at now.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You know, Michael's been a solid guy, from sports up into, you know, through his career into now, has been friends with my partner for many years. So this is more of us giving him, again, his flowers and saluting him for being an incredible human being. So if you came for the salacious, you're in the wrong place. We don't do that. So, Mike, are you encouraging your children, any of them, to go into the same profession? I think you alluded to the fact that your son wants to be a fireman now.
Yeah, my one son, Michael, wants to be a fireman. My other son wants to be a scientist. So they're all different. They got different personalities.
Maybe you could fix this COVID thing we're going through, right?
He tells me he wants to cure cancer. He goes, that's what he wants to do. So, you know, right. So do I push my kids in any direction? No. Do I help steer them where I think fits best for them? That obviously I do, you know, teach them right from wrong and try to steer them to be good people. I mean, that's, again, I try to do what my parents did with me and give them a good upbringing.
Morals goes a long way, right? I don't know.
Yeah,
We lost a lot of that.
It goes, to me, it's one of the most important things, your morals. And I say sometimes, you know, it's a hard road, but to do the right thing, it takes a certain man to do the right thing on a hard road. You know, not everybody has that, you know, and if you teach your kids that way, the world will be a better place. Everybody should teach their kids that way.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. I think the
Not
basic.
that I do everything right, by no means do I do everything right. I get a lot wrong.
Yeah.
We all do. We're human. We're
Right.
human.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think at the foundation, you have to work from that space. You have to want to be good. You have to want to be right. You want to work from that place.
Right.
And I think that, you know, people have lost that because they got caught up in all this. This world is one big, like, this country right now is like Disneyland. And I think that
world.
Exactly. Like, left is right, right is left.
Bizarro world.
Yeah, man.
Without a doubt.
It's going to take a lot of real people with this mindset to change it and to turn it around. And I'm hopeful that through this show that we could start bringing that feeling back by sharing these stories and talking to people and remembering, you know, where we come from, right? Because we have that mindset, you know. Right. Sully always points to the fact that, you know, his kid, he doesn't think about his kids being really good students, like you alluded to, like your son has his dyslexia, but their character, respect, their morality, he makes it a point to really focus on those things because that'll lead them in life.
Social media, that's all bullshit. Don't fall for that.
Right. School's important, but being an honest, good person to me is life. I mean, I mean, all right, you know what? You do need scientists, you do need doctors. You also need guys that got to fix your plumbing and wire your electric. You need guys that could do everything. The world doesn't go around if we don't all do something. But being a good person, that's 24/7. Doesn't matter what you do.
For sure.
Yeah. Buddha, R.I.P. Buddha, used to always tell me, like, do the right thing when nobody's looking.
Right. Yeah, don't have a camera waiting to help somebody, give them a helping hand. Yeah. Do it because when you're out by yourself, when you're on your own. Right, exactly.
I'm donating food to this homeless guy in the side of the street. Look what a great person I am. Get the fuck out of here, man.
Right. Exactly.
So, Mike, now that you're retired,
Yes.
You know, you're revamping the house, right? What are you looking forward to do? I know you're probably looking forward to being a grandpa or whatever.
Can't
You
wait.
know, you love the sports. You got the fever like me. I'm dying to have grandchildren.
My oldest daughter just got married a month ago.
God
So
bless.
we bought a house across the street, and now I'm in the middle of doing that house. And then this way, the grandkids stay right here.
Man after my own heart. I want my
across the
grandkids
street.
close.
Yeah, I want them close. I'm retired. I would love to take care of my grandkids.
Wow, man. That's awesome. That's awesome. So when we
Sorry
going
about
fishing, man? No, it's all right. When we going fishing?
Oh, I love fishing. When do you want to go?
Dude, I see it on you. That's what I just told you. I was just porgy fishing out in what is it? College Point? Behind damn. Yeah, it's College Point.
Gotta come to Long Island. Y'all want to fish?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
I go to Breezy and I fish
You
off
go
the
to
jetty at Breezy. That's where I fish. You
Man,
know?
that point is suspect, brother.
You ain't kidding.
I will
This guy likes to watch shit, though. You know? He's like, let this bridge give out. I'll put it together.
Sometimes I'm like, I'm going to throw my pole in the water and swim back because these rocks are rough, man.
Yo, dude, Sally, one time, so Breezy Point is a long jetty along a beach, right? And then at the end, there's like a tower, right? But you can walk past the tower and go a little further.
Right.
So one day, these dudes had the bright idea. There was some wind and gusts and some weather coming in.
That's rough.
The motherfuckers went out there. What do you think happened? They had to get pulled off that bitch because they got stuck.
Yeah.
Like
you got to know when the tide's coming back in.
But dude, you're a fisherman, right?
Yeah.
You like to fish.
I like to fish.
What do we do when we're going fishing? We check the fucking tides. It's the first thing we do, right?
I don't do that. I just go out whenever I can.
Oh, no.
I wouldn't say I'm a fisherman. I just said I like to fish. A fisherman.
Okay.
Yeah, I like to fish. I just go when I have time. I mean, sometimes I look at those things and it says terrible day for fishing. I'm like, I don't care. I'm going fishing.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll show you.
Yeah.
Right. If I don't catch stuff when it says it's a great day for fishing. So what's the difference?
Yeah. Chef Jay Martinez just reminded me because I was speaking to him that day. It was Broad Channel that I was fishing at.
Oh, Broad Channel.
Yeah. So
that's right there. That's it by Howard Beach.
Yeah, exactly. But so I went over there. We bagged about 18 porgies.
Yeah.
Pretty nice size. Season's almost done. I know Selly doesn't like to fish. He'll drink some.
I don't care.
Yeah.
There's beers involved. I'm in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I'm hoping.
At the jetty, they kill the porgies.
Really?
Yeah, because it's at the end of the jetty where that
right
tower is. There's all rocks there. The porgies are there
Structure.
like crazy. Yeah, I don't fish for the porgies. I like to either go for bluefish or striped bass, but just for fun, I throw everything back.
We would drift off the beach for flounder and fluke.
Yeah, that I'll eat.
Yeah, we will go all the way to the point or halfway, and then we'll just drift all the way down the beach and just yanking them off of there.
Yeah,
but I knew it just by looking at this guy. I was like, yeah, this guy likes to fish. My kind of guy. I'm hoping that for retirement, if it ever comes, that's something I'm going to be able to do a lot of, right?
Yep.
And so now you're going to have your grandchildren across the street for you. God bless, man. That's a beautiful.
I hope so.
It'll happen. Happen. How old's your daughter?
30.
Oh, she's pushing.
Yeah.
Listen,
I don't know. So I know we go back a long way, but you probably don't even remember. I used to wheel her in the carriage to Dyker Park on the concrete, and she would be there with my mom watching every game. My daughter, she grew up with her. Yeah, my daughter grew up.
I kind of want to say I think I remember that.
Yeah.
Like this guy's crazy. He's bringing his daughter on the like.
I was probably the only one back then. I mean, I was 19 years old when I had my daughter. You know, it wasn't really that heard of when we were younger. It's more common now, but I was the only one. I would bring my daughter to every.
You thought you were Spanish.
Yeah. Most guys thought my mother was my wife. They were like, "Yo, look at this guy's got an older wife." I'm like,
motherfucker. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining the show, I'm your host, Mr. A.
Sally Sasson in the building.
And
shit out of luck because we're about to sign off.
And this is the set 6145. Tonight we had the honor of bringing on somebody we consider a hometown hero, Mr. Michael Morabito. And we discussed his life, his aspirations, his retirement now, and his desire to be a granddad. I think that stories like this often need to be told more. And I think that bringing on such a guest and sharing his story, making the connection and helping everybody understand that we need to get back to the basics. You know, we'll start to make that happen. Because when you hear it and you see it between, you know, three gentlemen such as ourselves, you know, it resonates. And I think that the more that we have these discussions and share these stories, you know, maybe it'll motivate people to getting back to what we know to be the right way. So I hope everybody enjoyed the conversation. Mike, this is your home, man. If there's any announcements, if you're doing anything, you know, you want to promote like your block party, if you're having a christening, if you need some guys to you know, come over for a Sunday dinner, share some beers. Listen, this is your platform. Whenever, however, you just reach out, you say the word, and we'll bring you on, man. We really appreciate you tonight, man.
I'm going to promote just something. Sunday, we're playing a stickball tournament in Coney Island, right by the Wonder Wheel on West 12th Street. So if anybody wants to come down and see some old school Brooklyn stickball, we play teams from all over. They come and play. It's a lot of fun.
Have you ever played in the Bronx stickball up there?
We played versus the guys in the Bronx, and they cheat in stickball too.
Oh, God.
Football and softball and everything else. They
Bronx cheating? No way.
They bring their helium ball. They can hit the thing 3 blocks. Like, yeah, it's filled with helium. Use a regular ball.
Listen to me. I know people that play up there that juice their stickball bats.
I know they do.
Yeah.
We still play with the regular stickball bat that you buy, the Spalding stickball bat. These guys have bats that are size of stickball, size of softball bats.
Like a shovel, like a shovel stick.
Yeah, they're aluminum. They're custom made bats they have made.
What?
California. Yeah, it's bullshit. And we still beat them all.
Fucking older guys are taking this too serious. Man, Mike, give that information out again. Where is it happening at?
It's Sunday. I could send you a link to it, but Sunday on West 12th Street at 9:30 in the morning. They're going to start it. This kid Jason runs it. He's great. He did a documentary, Broomsticks. What the heck? I can't remember the name of it. I'm sorry. I'm ruining his plug for him. I forgot. But yeah, it's awesome. It's a good time. It's a lot of fun.
Send the link over. We'll put it up on the page. We'll promote it.
All right, awesome. I'll do it.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen.
Hold on, Mr.
Go ahead, brother.
Jennifer's loyal, kid. I tried to get it. I was like, yo, give me something I can mess with Whip about.
Nah, she won't give me up.
I'm not telling you nothing.
You won't give me up. Man.
Love it, brother.
Yeah, salute to Jennifer. Yeah. Whip, we're gonna tuck you away in the room. We'll close out the show and then we'll talk after, right? All right.
It was my pleasure, guys, talking with you.
No.
Thank you.
Honor was all ours. We appreciate your time, brother.
Right.
Thank you.
Take it easy. Dom, see you later if you're still there.
Yeah.
He's talking.
Oh man. So I know a lot of people came to the show, and I hope everybody enjoyed themselves, man. There were quite a few people that, and this is the reason why I expressed it the way that I did to Mike. A lot of people were asking me a lot of questions specifically about the day and so on and so forth. And I really didn't want to, you know, we could touch upon it, but I really didn't want to delve too much into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's done it. You know, it's 20 years, and you know, he just had the Australian conversation, and like you said, he was, you know, we respect the boundaries of, you know, doing something doing something on a video and recording it where you could edit, or guy could take a break, you know, if he feels a certain way, then doing it live. You know, he might not want to do it live and feel a certain way. And like he said, he cried, and the first time he made him cry. We've been bottling that up. So
yeah. And even more so, sorry about that.
No, go ahead.
Even more so, you know, people, we got to connect to each other in ways that are relatable, you know, and I definitely didn't want to be somber or whatever. Yeah. And this is the reason why we waited for the week after, you know, let everybody go through what they go through, deal with that moment. And then, you know, we'll have this conversation to just level things out, you know. Yeah. Mike's in a great space. He's in a beautiful place in his life. You know, he has so many things to look forward to. And we kind of like wanted to celebrate that. Yes. You know what I mean? So, man, we appreciate, he said, Mr. A, good for making somebody cry. I got 3 so far, Jay. I got 3 so far, but not my intention.
Modern day Roy Firestone over there.
We want to say salute to Mr. Michael Morabito. I want to say salute to everybody that came tonight to watch the show. Sel, man, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you, man. You've been putting in work. You know, everybody, you know, you got to understand this show's been a long time in the making, and it's always been about two people. But, you know, when Selly finally came on to the show, you know, he made a solid impact, and he's been bringing on amazing guests. So, you know, you want to make sure you salute my brother here, and we're just going to continue to do what we do. And next week, it's Hispanic Heritage Month. We have a very special show.
Starts today, right? I think today starts.
Yeah, I think today's the first day. So next week we got a great show lined up for you guys. It's gonna be heavy. We're talking DNA. We're talking a family who just found each other. We're talking about people being found in like the Netherlands, Latinos. That's crazy. So,
yeah, man, we put it into work, man. Teamwork makes the dream work. You know, ain't nobody bigger than the other. We put in that work together, and wherever we go, we go. You know what I mean? That's what it is. You know, everybody supporting us. Please share the the channel. You know, subscribe and hit them likes, and let's go. Let's keep it going.
That's right, baby. So we out of here, ain't we?
Let's go. Vámonos.
Let me pull this up. Hold on. Where's it go? All right, here we go. All right, we out of here, y'all.